So you're stuck inside an old story, an old narrative that you've lived by for a long time. And it's something that perhaps you've had since you were a child. Maybe it was something that was forced upon you through some traumatic event. Something happened that made it so that there's this story to your life that has guided and filtered through into your conscious awareness and now has shaped most of what you see in your life. And it affects decisions, it can affect friendships, it can make you think things you don't want to think, say things you don't want to say, and do things you don't want to do. And so we always try to find what is a solution to this, what can we do? And we've tried maybe thinking our way out of it. We've tried talking our way out of it. But there's one thing that I can suggest to you that you can try. And it's something that has worked for me, and it's something that has worked for the clients that I work with. Not for all, but for a good majority. A long time ago, when we used to live in tribes, we would have a ritual process. When a child or a young teen would be transitioning off, there would be a point in which there's a bridge they have to cross, metaphorically. That bridge is essentially signifying the death of the way they were thinking before, the way they perceived things before, the narrative and the story they lived with before. In other words, the boy or girl psychology dying and then transitioning into the man and woman psychology of tomorrow. Therefore, now they can shed away that baggage, but not forget, but instead integrate it into their soul, into their ego, blend them and mix them, and then move forward in a more elevated, consciously aware state. The sage in that tribe used to curate that process. The sage that holds wisdom and knowledge of the universe, of the tribe, holds great wisdom within him. And he will allow that transition to play, and he will direct it. And it can be all sorts of different trials. It can be going off into the woods for 3 days. It can be putting your hands, I'm sure some of you guys have seen the videos, putting your hands inside this sort of, I don't know, just like a weaved basket in some way that's shaped a little bit more oval, football shaped, filled with red fire ants that are going to bite and sting you, and you have to endure the pain. Now, if we fast forward to today, we have essentially lost the transition, the ritual period. We have abandoned the idea of feeding the soul what it needs, feeding the psyche what it needs, in order for us to actually shed away some of that old pain, that old narrative. And so the question is, what sort of ritual do we want to do? What's going to signify something? The simplest way I can describe it so that you can make it your own is essentially what you want to do is encapsulate that entire narrative, that story you've been living by. And you want to separate it from yourself, place it outside into the world, and have a ritualistic experience to say, I have now moved on from this. I am ready to transition into this new state, this new way of being. Some suggestions that I can offer you are going for a walk into the woods. You can do this by yourself, or you can bring some companionship if you feel that they know your story well and they are rooting for you to make this transition, this death of the old ego. And so you can go off into the woods, bring yourself something to carve into a tree. You carve into the tree some symbol, some image that can represent your story. Or if you don't want to do that to a tree, you can do it on the ground, in the soil, mark it. And the idea is, as you mark, you are essentially saying to your soul, to the inner world, that I'm wanting this to leave from me, to leave the state of my awareness consciously always holding me and making me feel stuck and making me repeat that narrative over and over again, it is time that I move it away and place it into the world. You can also do it through burning. You can write it out on a piece of paper. You can draw it, whatever you need to do. You can go off into your backyard, into the woods, whatever environment evokes this sense of ritual, the strong feeling of transcendent experience. Make it sacred. Don't feel awkward about it. You can feel silly and you can have all these emotions going on, but understand the importance and the gravity that your soul craves this type of ritual. And when you start to do it, you never realize how important it really was and how much you really needed it. Your soul is thirsty for it. So you can go off when you have that drawing, you can take a moment to sit, reflect on this memory, reflect on the story. When emotions come up, you allow them to flow. As I always say, let every emotion have a place at your table. Every emotion needs to speak, needs to say its part. We cannot suppress and reject some and include someone else more. Everyone has an equal seat at the table. It is through understanding their equality amongst each other that's going to make you feel more holistic and give you a more broader and deeper perspective and a richer sense of self. So you allow yourself to feel it, sit within it. And when you feel it's ready, you can vocalize it. I'm ready to let go and integrate. I'm ready to move forward and to elevate myself to this new state, this new psychology, this new ego soul integration. And you burn it. To be safe so you don't get any wildfires, bring yourself like a metal bowl you can burn the paper and put it inside of. I don't want people burning the damn forest down, so make sure you're responsible. You smash the table. By the way, just so you guys know, if you're new to the channel, returning viewers already know I don't edit any of my videos. I keep them absolutely the same from beginning to end. No jump cuts, no nothing. I want you to see me in my most authentic self. If I stutter, if I smash something, that really happened. I did not cut it out. I feel like part of what I'm doing feels within me that I want you to see it. I want you to see this part, especially nowadays with AI getting crazy and all these performative actors that we see. I'd rather you see my blunders. And sometimes they're embarrassing, and sometimes I always question, should I put it up? But I find at the end of the day, I feel it's something that I need to do. It's something that my soul speaks to do. And that's something I want to urge you. I want to urge you to look at this not as an ego healing experience, but a soul nourishing experience. Something that your soul calls for. If you listen, the answer comes not from the neck up, but from the neck down. And it whispers. It's not loud at all. It whispers to you. You can maybe hear it. You can maybe feel it. Mine is through feeling. I can feel its call. And when I investigate it, then I can formulate it into words. Perhaps you're the same. And so do not underestimate the impact that ritual can have, a ritual transition to allow the old psychology to die and to be reborn in the new. And another way I can put it is, if you're the masculine or the feminine, the boy psychology dies. The parts of it that are craving validation all the time, the parts of it that are wanting everything to flow upstream to them, wanting things to be easy, wanting things to just come to you, wanting to get revenge on old enemies, allowing that to die, but inhabiting within it the pure spirit of the child, adventure, curiosity, limitless love, the connection to something divine. That follows you into the next realm of where the adult psychology wraps around it. And now you have this new, elevated, more integrated state, existence. If this is something you want to go deeper with, and you want guidance from me personally on identity loss, ego soul integration, rebuilding purpose, rediscovering who you are, click that button below, book a call with me. I'd be more than happy and privileged to share space with you, to share emotions and grief and excitement and joy and accomplishments. This is something that I feel a divine calling for. I take this really seriously, and it would be my honor to share space. If you're not ready for a phone call just yet, you can click that second button down below and you can go ahead and sign up to my newsletter. And I'm going to send you, upon signing up, my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. It's a toolkit you can use to navigate through your identity loss and help you move towards an ego soul integrated lifestyle, which is going to bring you such peace, but in the way you wouldn't expect. And it's going to give you a sense of perspective that is going to really enrich your life and really elevate the quality of your life in a different way from within. I'm not making any promises on exterior wealth and status or anything like that. And I can't even make any promises that you'll feel integrated right off the bat. But what I can say is if you stay on track, you keep the intention of finding it and figuring it out, you will find it. And when you connect with it, it is a beautiful, beautiful experience. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.